and I basically like take you by like the arm and like drag you, like, all right, let's go.
And I fucking whip my arm away, and I'm like, do not touch me.
All right,
I think,
and we head towards
as you guys
to hold him.
I think as you agree to work together. I don't know if you actually grab him by the arm, but I think as there's finally like a moment of like a sigh of relief, Jeremiah, you hear something you'd really rather not hear, and you've heard it this morning, and it's the dogs barking at the junkyard. As it sounds like they are going off barking it. Which is exactly what I said, just in a different word arrangement.
I was just going to let you keep going, because I was like, I don't know, maybe it's going to add something. I'm just going to let it play out. I think I kind of look back over my shoulder, like, and kind of inquisitively like squint towards the junkyard, but I follow Cliff. Because I'm not... I know that I followed the dog... So, the clarifying question. I followed the dog to the golf course, kind of hung back and watched other people investigate. And then I know that that's the same dog that upset the junkyard earlier in the day is the same dog that fucking jelly rolled through the fence.
Uh-huh.
Alright, I'm glad you're amused. Yeah, so, alright, so then if I'm hearing the junkyard erupt again, then I think we should go look at that, and I try to get Cliff to come with me.
I think the moment I hear the dogs, I want to just quickly investigate before we head out.
I think also, like, the distance you guys are, and just the loud commotion that it is, everyone's able to hear, the dogs barking. It's
alright,
just
so
a
then
difference of who's
I
closer.
think that we all probably go investigate the junkyard.
Let's just say, yeah.
Let's just...
We are
do
after
that.
dog. I hear dogs. Nah, it couldn't possibly.
It's the man right holding the wallet of Patrick scene.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Then this is obviously your dog. That's not my dog.
So do we like... Do we go at like... We're like ahead of Hold'em and William though right now, right? Like we were probably going to get the first glance of whatever the hell's happening.
Yeah, you guys are definitely going to get the first glance of whatever's happening. What's your guys' kind of approach to the junkyard? Are you guys kind of just keeping like a careful eye, trying to see what's going on? Or are you guys like going through the front, or trying to like watch between like the fences, or like?
I just heard Christopher take a really deep breath in.
So I would say
the
motel where Jeremiah stays. I will say Jeremiah is on the second floor of the motel, and from that vantage point is able to see over the fence, which is like a metal fence, but it has the it has like those like plastic kind of flat ridges through them, so that you can't see through them. That'll stop the dog.
Yeah. Sure.
As well as like some.
Wait, are we
like,
in the hotel room now?
I'm just describing
no, I think that
the
Matt's
setup.
doing is he's trying to.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So then we can make
So
a decision
that's how you were
approach it.
able to see, just directly through your bathroom window into the junkyard. But as in terms of like if you were to get to the junkyard, there is, and I think on observation you can see this, it's very hard to see, through the fence. I think there are holes and vantage points at the fence where you could possibly go up to it and see inside. You could attempt to climb the fence, try to find another gate in, or you also know that there is a sort of main entrance to the property.
I mean, I think so. Cliff, I think since we're in my head, this is Cliff was already part of his way back towards where he wanted to bring me. When we hear the junkyard, I'm now closer to the junkyard, so I feel like it changed the power dynamic where Cliff's following me. Is that correct? Does that everybody else feel that way too? Okay.
Yes.
So I feel like you're following my lead.
Yep.
And I just kind of look back at you and I'm like, fucking follow my lead. Like, I'm not playing around. I'm like, just follow me.
Yep, I do it.
Which is probably pretty much how I treat you inside the supermarkets too. But so we go on our way to the junkyard. I had initial in my first D&D campaign, I over explained my scenario and started to fit in things that I shouldn't have, and took over. So I don't know how much leeway I have with this.
So the monster of the week is actually much more up that alley. If you want to,
right up my alley.
I mean, you could even like roll to see if you notice something. Like, for example, if you wanted to try to,
I feel like I approach the fence and I want to see if I notice anything on the fence. Sorry.
Why don't you? I think if you want to try to investigate, I'm gonna have you roll read a bad situation. If you're gonna try to find like just like a way in or a way out, just because the read a bad situation is much based on like what's the best way in, what's the best way out, what dangers have I not noticed.
So I was
like
reading
that.
it more as like I'm choosing to approach the fence, but I feel like I was getting ahead of myself and I was like, I discovered something on the fence, but I don't know.
Oh,
if
okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much I can
Yeah,
do that.
you know what? I think that's fair. Just keep in mind that if
It doesn't give away. It speaks to something that we've already all experienced, so it's not like I'm going.
Yeah. It's a fence. No, I'm kidding. I think you're able to see that there is there's openings in the fence where you could look through and see what's happening. Places where that flat, plastic is missing or is, fallen off.
Is there residue? That's what I'm getting at.
Is it what?
Residue on the fence.
No, there's no residue on the fence.
Oh, so this was the dog's first dematerializing through a fence. He hadn't done this before to getting out of the junkyard.
I think previously,
he walked in the front fucking door.
No. When I described
okay.
I could be totally wrong, so I'm changing the canon. But when you were watching the Greyhound this morning, it crawled under the fence to leave.
So okay, he's just inconsistent in his entries. Is what we're saying.
What?
Okay, cool. That's fine then.
No, I just straight up didn't hear what you said.
Oh. No, I said so he's just inconsistent with his entries then.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So I already know from my motel room that I have a vantage point, almost aerial view, into a large portion of the junkyard. So that would be my first inclination, would be to drag Cliff in that direction, but I don't know if Cliff, in his jubilant, over-enthusiastic self, just kind of runs head first through the front door. I don't know what he does. That's up to him.
I know. I'm just following you at this point, so it's up to you where you go, because I don't know this. I'm not really in the junkyard much.
All right, I'm like, all right, Chuck, let's go.
Chuck, okay.
And I bring him up to my motel room to take a look in. To take a look in or out the windows from my room.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chuck.
We're now. I'm also looking out the window with Mr. LeClaire. It's really romantic.
You're both your faces are squished next to each other.
Actually,
looking out the window.
Fun fact: this was literally how Anthony and I's first date ended.
There you go.
I think you see a similar sight to what you saw this morning. That there is just this greyhound that is near the fence, it might have just crawled in recently. and there is just a lot of dogs just barking at it, as if like they've just gotten like riled up, like, oh, like you're back again.
Oh, the
And
boys are
you
back
actually see one of the junkyard employees like stick their head out of the kind of the main building that's near the entrance and like see what's going on, and then like roll his eyes and then walk back inside. And I think William and Hold'em make it to the scene before I describe anything that happens further.
Okay. Are we in the apartment or?
You guys, I think you guys are outside of the junkyard, and
You
you
just have
hear
like
the barking.
Cliff sonar location and kick in the door to my apartment.
Yeah,
There he
exactly.
is.
Or I could I probably don't have Cliff's number yet.
My baby. I feel like you have exchanged numbers just because we've made the idea that
We've
you
known each
shared
other before this.
or even that you've shared the video with Cliff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like
I
it
don't
was
know why,
shared
but
one
for
way or
some
another.
reason in my head we like don't have phones. I don't know why. I'm like not thinking that this is like.
This is not Survivor.
No,
Sorry.
and this isn't Kepler from the
Yeah.
Adventure Zone.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, do you think that we text them then and then go up to the room, or?
I text Hold'em and say that we're currently in Mr. Leclerc's motel.
Okay.
He sends you back 3 consecutive winky faces.
Is that where you guys want to go, or did you guys want to check out the junkyard in any other way?
Hold'em definitely does, because he wants to get a game plan with these folks. What about you, Will?
Yeah, he wants to also.
Okay.
I think this
So
decision's up to Hold'em and William.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to the hotel room too.
All right. I think as you guys are entering in, this is really funny because I really imagine this is a shitty motel, so it's
Yeah.
a tiny ass bathroom window. and you gotta stand on the bathtub a little to look out the window. So all 4 of you are just stand. It's just these 4 grown ass men just standing on a bathtub, all huddled, looking through a bathroom window. And
Okay.
yes, perfect.
Yep.
You guys missed a little bit of
Mr. Leclerc, can you put out your cigarloo, whatever the hell you called it earlier?
Cigarello? Cigaloo?
I think before William and Hold'em enter, you guys actually see Jeremiah. What hadn't happened last time is the Greyhound kind of stood its ground and then retreated. And by stood its ground, I mean it didn't move anywhere. And this time, you actually see the Greyhound actually the Greyhound's eyes were kept on the junkyard owner. And once he went inside, the Greyhound started to move and actually walk towards the stray dogs. And is walking closer and closer. And I think at this point, Hold'em and William enter and make it just in time to see... I'm almost regretting making this the monster because it's so grotesque and monstrous, but at the same time I don't. And you see the Greyhound's jaw unhinge again, and the dogs in the junkyard are going ballistic, just barking and running around and just really yelling at this Greyhound. And with its jaw unhinged, you actually see its mouth and its jaw split in 2, as if now there are 4 quadrants of its entire snout, and its tongue, like a tendril, fires out and impales one of the other dogs and begins to just, like, grapple it and pull it into the greyhound's form. And now all of the dogs are freaking out. They are running around the junkyard, and about a third of the dogs are, like, chained up to different things, and
so sorry to quickly interrupt you. I am screaming at this point. Just to make it very clear to the other 3 that I am losing my mind.
William was on the verge of vomiting again.
I look at Hold'em and I'm like, oh, it reminds me of my ex-wife.
Okay, boomer.
I don't really respond. I just kind of like try to just make sure that William and Cliff specifically are not gonna have a seizure or anything.
I think the greyhound slowly, like, parts of its, like, body are opening up, and you see like tendrils just, like, you know, spasming out, and it's almost like opening like a bloody flesh flower, and it's grabbing dogs, and other dogs are trying to escape and chew at their chains, while other ones are just trying to run off the property and dig under the fence, and a handful get away, but it is gaining mass very quickly, and it is taking in dogs, and it is horrifying.
All right, Hold'em's finally gonna talk. He says, "So, I can't say a lot, but the reason that I'm here is because, and like, I need all of you to like just tell me what you know, is kind of because of that. If we don't stop that from happening, bad things are going to happen, and I don't know if it's just here or anywhere else, but bad things are already happening. So, and he pulls up his sleeve to show his, like, the orders tattoo he has on his shoulder. And he says, like, I really don't know how to put this, just that I'm, like, part of this, like, organization or whatever. Weird stuff happens. He looks at William like, "Hey, can I say the thing?"
I feel like William just does it for you and, like, exclaims, "I have that
Which
fucking
one?
thing inside
Are there
of
any
me."
dangers we haven't noticed?
Yeah, he's got like whatever's
I
happening
book
to the
it.
dog.
I'm out of the room. I am gone. I am out of there.
Usually,
Cliff,
most of the
not, like-
time. No, you know
Cliff.
what's interesting? Usually, most of the time in a
I
game
made my
like
way over to my
this,
snack table and I'm pouring a drink.
the
Okay,
any
so
dangers we haven't noticed, there's usually like, there's
Cliff?
that thing you haven't noticed.
I
I think
put
the
my
only
head out the
danger
window and
you
yelled out the hallway,
maybe
"Cliff!"
haven't noticed is
I'm not doing this.
the
Dude, we need you.
The amount
Does
of
that yelling
mass
alert
that this
thing?
thing is gaining,
We're in like the hotel
because
room.
it's not
We're in
the
the hotel
size
room, as
of
far
a
as I
greyhound
know.
anymore.
motel.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like, I feel
okay,
like,
gotcha.
and even if there's yelling, like those cheap
Yeah.
ass motels, you can hear shit. So I feel like, is anything that we're doing alerting the creature?
I still think we're far enough away from the junkyard that it's okay.
Okay.
Best way in.
Oh, I thought you
I
meant
would
the
say-
hotel was busy. I was like, okay, what the fuck does that?
Hopping
like,
the
why does
fence
that matter?
or crawling under the
It's
fence.
peak. It's
The
it's
monster,
peak
yeah.
time. Oh, okay.
You know what?
Alright.
Actually,
You okay?
I think
So I'm
I
trying to-
I
Cliff,
should be
get back
more fair
here.
to you. I think
He's
reading
not
a bad situation
dangerous.
with this good of a roll, I
He
think
can't-
you see.
He,
I
I don't fucking know. Just get back
around
here,
the side
please.
from this vantage point.
I think I
from the
reluctantly
second
come
floor,
back
think
and I
you
just
can
sit
see that
down,
there
but I
is a
don't think I
gate
say
on the side of
anything
the
for the
property
time
that would
being.
let you into the junkyard.
Look,
And it looks unlocked.
weird shit just is like exists. Magic exists, by the way. Is there a way I can use magic?
Either get them the
To
fuck
just,
out of
like,
there,
show them.
Or
I don't know if it's anything.
what would be the best way is to distract
I
this
guess
monster in some way.
Yeah.
I think with that it actually
Okay.
it kind of
I
finishes
just
its
wanna
meal
knock-
and it is
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do?
um
I'm gonna use
and
like
it is
I guess
this
like D&D
almost
terms of mage hand. I'm just gonna like hold my hand out towards
just
Jeremiah's bag of chips
mass of
and just
like
knock it on the
flesh and dog limbs and
floor.
why
Do I
y'all
need to roll for that?
giggling? It's a big.
All right. So
All right.
we were.
So we're going
I was-
locked and loaded.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, we need to do something. Anyone else following me?
I
No.
I stand up and I just look at everyone. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm just in too deep, and I think that for the time being, I just I need to go home, and I leave.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think I'm gonna stay right here.
Okay, so it's just me and you.
All right, dude. Let's run. So Hold'em runs to the junkyard.
Okay.
Gets in the way that maybe William showed him.
Are you're both going, or what's William doing?
I'm following him.
Okay.
I'm still observing, by the way, from my tiny bathroom window.
Okay, cool.
I'm just not joining.
And what is Cliff doing exactly?
Crying, shitting, vomiting, running, all at
Going
once.
home.
Okay.
That guy's a fucking mess.
Okay.
I left. I'm going home.
All right.
Okay.
So let's.
I feel like I really upset you guys. I'm sorry.
Well, this is just a character choice.
Okay. All right.
So William and I are running for the.
If this stuff is too bad, I can stop. I can
No,
change it.
Cliff has to get through this. Cliff has to go through this grieving period of how his reality is just not as pure as he thought. So he has to leave. That's just the decisions that I made.
No more rock hard Cliff.
Soft, mushy Cliff.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Okay, so we're going to the junkyard.
All right. Cool.
Let's sneak in the way that maybe William saw.
Yeah, I
With
think
his
with
presence.
with your role, you're able to easily make your way in.
Yeah. And then do we see just the massive? We get to where the dog is. Just see the massive dog and flesh in front of us.
Yeah, it is. I think it like kind of notices you, but it's very much focused on like trying to like change form into a more, I think, stable, just version of itself. You
And
know what I mean?
Yeah, how big is it?
I want to say it's about like
7.
it's probably
Thanks.
about maybe about like 5 feet tall and about maybe like 5 or 6 feet wide, but like not
Okay,
like that perfect square. It is like
Yeah.
much more flatter than that.
You cut out exactly when you said the number of how many feet tall. Can you just say that again?
5.
5. Okay, so okay. So
It's more just like the head of the greyhound and like tendrils still kind of like flailing.
okay.
It's very freaky.
Holden's gonna turn to Will and say, "We got to get the rest of these dogs out of here."
Will just kind of just turns to him and says, "But how? Like, how are we gonna?"
Just cut them free. If they're chained to something, cut the chain. Like find something sharp, undo the chain. Whatever. Just get them out of here. And then he's gonna start running to get the dogs up. I'm gonna guess this is an act under pressure.
Yes.
Okay. So I will roll plus cool. And that is an 11.
Ooh.
-1, but still a 10.
Big
Why are
numbers.
these rolls so good?
Oh, mine's about to not be.
So can you restate exactly what you were trying to do?
So I'm trying to set the dogs free by like either undoing their chains, cutting them, or ropes or whatever they're tied to get them to like run away.
Yeah, I think you're able to, you're able to easily notice that, luckily most of them are, like, tied or they're, like, on hooks. It doesn't take much time to get, what dogs are chained up, free. And the second that, they're free, they bolt. They are running as fast as they can away from this thing.
Okay. That's really all that I had planned.
And now to be devoured.
Okay,
And I think
get the dogs free.
and I'll count that for the both of you. I think you both succeed very well at probably saving like a good amount of dogs that would have otherwise met their demise.
Okay.
And I think at this point the mass is like you actually see a part of the mass kind of begin to kind of almost glob together like one limb and then like bend at an elbow and then land on the ground as it is almost like picking itself up into some sort of form.
I guess I turn to Will and I go, so you got that parasite thing in you? Is there anything that you know about how we could stop it from changing form or whatever?
The one thing I do know is that I kind of pull in and just like whisper it. Like that thing cannot know that I have that inside me. Otherwise, we're all dead.
Okay. But like, do you know anything about? I don't know. I don't know how to ask this.
Look, Claire's just like in the window eating a bag of chips. Just watching
Nah,
this.
because somebody tossed my chips on the goddamn floor.
Yeah, you
so I don't
fucking
got
deserve
no
it.
chips. I got my cigaroos, or whatever the fuck Christopher keeps calling them, and
Dunkaroos.
my whiskey, and I'm pissed.
So
And that's why I didn't go into the junkyard.
you're not gonna pick them up off the floor. You're just gonna let them stay there since I knocked them down.
I think that's the least of our issues at the moment.
Okay, true. So I turn to Will and say, like, do you
More
know
chips.
if, and he's got, like, his hands on his shoulder, do you know how to get it to stop growing?
Sorry.
I don't believe that we discussed this at all.
Discuss.
We
you
have
talk to
not, but if you guys want to make a roll of any kind, whether to, I will give you guys possibly to investigate a mystery in this case, or
Okay.
even if William wants to, in a way, I think. I'm looking at use magic currently.
I thought he just said looking at you is magic currently, and I was like, wow, that is
Or
romantic.
I think we can use like the use magic effects are pretty built around spells, much more like how Holden would use it. But if at any point like if you think of a creative way of like I want to try to sense whatever alien being is inside me and think like what I don't know. I would have you like what like how does that work, or there's something you want to try, I'm gonna have you roll plus weird, so you can get the rules of how this thing works can be completely up to you. And I'll take whatever you guys want to try to go for, but I'm gonna have you roll for it.
Will, I think you need to use magic to try to talk to sense your thing, your parasite, and try to get something out of it that could help.
Okay. All right, so
And I've got a backup if that doesn't work.
okay. I think up in my head. What do
I'd
we
also
do?
I'd also like to point out this scene is very loud as well, as you can imagine.
Mm.
Of both the dogs and just this monster that, like, while it is trying to change form, is also just doing a horrific screech the
Okay,
entire time.
So I have
But
trouble
what's not
thinking while
adding
it
to the
happens.
atmosphere is my chips crunching because I don't have them anymore.
Like I was making
so
like a
we're-
bag of popcorn in the microwave.
Fucking hell.
Okay, so during all this commotion, I'm having trouble thinking, but I managed to get a thought through to the voice in my head saying, "How do we stop this?"
You gonna roll?
I want you to roll plus weird.
Plus weird. Okay.
And I'm also gonna check too if there's anything specific
Oh,
to the
no.
pyromancer.
My backup
Plus zero,
plan
so
can't
it's
help.
3.
I was gonna help out, but I can't. Can't with that.
It's that bad, huh?
Yep.
I got a 3.
3 total?
Yeah.
Even
Wait,
with
hold
the
on,
ad
You don't have
what's
any
your-
weird?
What's your plus weird?
plus
0.
weird.
Oh, it's 0? Ooh.
Damn. I mean, I thought you were pretty weird.
Sorry, I'm also just checking.
For anything that we can do to help.
No, I'm checking. I'm
Okay.
checking the pyromantic's moves, and I'm double checking what Gabe has.
I can tell
Gabe.
you which ones I have.
Make sure to mark experience.
Supernatural. Yeah, supernatural guide.
I have supernatural guide. I am theirs, and they are mine. And do as the supernatural do.
Okay, make sure to mark experience since he rolled under a 6.
Wow, mark experience. Like what for?
Anytime you roll a
Yeah.
6 or less, you mark experience
Oh,
on the front part of your sheet.
where's my pencil? Here it is. What is this for again?
Anytime you miss a roll, like you get a 6 or less, you mark experience. If you get 5 experience, you level up.
Oh, okay.
I think that as you are trying to communicate with the voice in your head, I think you feel like a shock through your entire system, as your muscles just instinctively kind of twitch, and you feel that kind of way that you felt when the voice in your head just stopped you from moving previously, except the complete opposite of it is just this impulse, and your body is just begins to just run for the gate, and the voice in your head just kind of goes off of just like, this is illogical. I wanted to help. I wanted to survive, but this is getting us nowhere. This is foolish. You will die. I will die. I am getting us out of here. Enough is enough.
Fuck you first. Not you. To the voice.
Yeah.
I know.
Think to the voice. Fuck you. We're staying, and I do my darndest to not move.
Okay. I think, okay, then I'm just gonna consider it like you are kind of like physically restraining yourself from not moving. And I think you can do that, because I think you have more physical power over your body than this creature inside of you. I think it's making like every natural instinct, all of those like sixth sense feelings of like animalistic instincts within your body are like run now, and under just pure willpower. You are trying to stand your ground, but it is very distracting, and it is almost like paralyzing. And Hold'em, I think you see this, that like William's trying to concentrate, and there is like he is now like sweating, and like his muscles are like he's trying to like as if someone like he's trying to move but can't, but at the same time he's keeping himself from moving, and you're not sure what's happening, but he is not going anywhere.
Okay. I'm a little freaked out. Shit. Like I want to like there's no way that I'm going to be able to do anything to the monster right now. But I need to figure out, like, I just know I need to figure out something that like learn something from this encounter, and I'm just trying to figure out what the best thing to do would be.
Why don't you roll to investigate a mystery?
Okay.
Because I think that's exactly the kind of thing you're looking for, and to try to just get answers about this creature.
Okay. All right, let's do that. 2d6. 7 plus 1. 8.
8, you get to hold one.
Hold one.
What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? And of course, some of these, of course, it's right here. I mean, it is trying to change form.
Right.
So it is.
Well, here's what I want to know: what can hurt it?
What can hurt it?
Unless that gives something too much away.
I feel like we kind of need that right now, though. So
Yeah.
I think here's what I'll give you. The monster, its limbs are beginning to just come together, and it is beginning to be able to hold its weight on its own, but at the same time, as it begins to hold its own weight, it has trouble keeping balance and begins to almost thrash and just move around. And this junkyard isn't empty. There are just old pieces of metal and refrigerators and cars, things like that are just lying around, and you see, like, these limbs, they grow, like bone and claws and, just different, and like patches of fur. You see, like, different eyes. You see, like, different mouths, as it is slowly becoming this form that almost is beginning to resemble the large shape of the greyhound that it was, but in this just larger form. And as it's thrashing to kind of get control over all of this body mass, it rams itself into the car next to it as a sense of balance, but like a few of the limbs that are just not hanging, but just reaching out from its chest, or like clawing and grabbing.
you were so ugly that everyone died.
I think where is Cliff's office in relation to the main lobby?
So I think that he has a door. His door kind of is open right to the lobby, because I think that he does a lot of customer interaction, obviously. So I think that he can basically see right out into the lobby, and can see where the front door may open.
Okay, all right. I don't think. You know what? I think you see, or at least we'll say from where you are, I think you can see the opening to the golf course, the door that exits into there. As you're waiting, you see the door open a crack, like probably about half a foot, and then close. But you saw no one enter or exit. And almost a few seconds later, you see and hear one of the snacks on the bottom shelf come off the hook as the door opens at the bottom of the vending machine, and the door shuts. And as if just on cue, your phone goes off one more time, and it's a text from Barbara asking if you can pick up Stacy tonight after she gets off of work from the pet store. Table Party has been brought to you by Team Chaos Productions. Find us on Twitter at The Table Party and find more of our work at Team Chaos Productions. See you again soon. Later.